Hello folks, hope that you people are doing great. So in today's video, we'll learn to deploy our application on Heroku Server. As we have developed full Spring Boot applications and covered a lot of application concepts, right? Many features have been covered in previous videos, and we have developed a few full workflow running projects and some minor projects as well. So now is the time to live our project on some kind of a server, right? So today we are using a Heroku server here. But before jumping to into this video for the deployment part, let me request you that if my content is providing you some knowledge and helping you out in some kind of learnings, please give a thumbs up to this video and do hit the subscribe button. It motivates me to build more such content. Right. So now let's get into that. What is a Heroku server? So going by the definition, Heroku is a PaaS, that is PaaS, that is a platform as a service, and is based on cloud. Right. It gives you a platform where you can deploy your application, and the application would deploy on cloud platform. Right. So developers like you and me can deploy our applications here, and then we can manage our applications, and then scalability of our applications could also be managed here, right? So now the second part is that how we will deploy our application on Heroku server. So first of all, let's go to heroku.com. You can see on your screen that we are on heroku.com. So here, first of all, you have to create a free account. Free account is that you have to register from your email ID and all, right? And while registering, if I click on sign up button, and in the form it will ask you that on which language you will deploy your applications, right? So you have to select the language as well. So I have selected Java here, right? And simple, your name, last name, email ID, company name, role, and all those things are to be provided, and then you have to verify the I am not robot check, and then your account would be created, right? I already have created my account on Heroku, so let me directly log in into the Heroku. So after registering, you have to log in into Heroku, right? So I'll log in into Heroku from my email and password, right? So let me log in. So you can see the dashboard of Heroku. So you can see a blank dashboard of Heroku, which says some I'll discuss this at the end of this video, right? So this is a dashboard for Heroku, right? So today we'll be deploying our SIP calculator. We have created a SIP calculator in the previous video as a minor project, right? So now what we'll do is now we'll deploy our SIP calculator application. So now you can see that when I click on create new app, first of all, what we have to do is we have to create a blank setup on this server where we can deploy our code, and then we can run the server to make our application live, right? So you have to give a name to the application. So I'll simply give SIP calculator, right? As I am deploying SIP calculator, so it says that the name is already being used. This name must start with a lowercase. Okay, so let me start with the lowercase. So it's not available. I would say Spring Boot, right? Spring Boot SIP calculator, and it says that the name is available. So you can see choose the region. So you can see only two options here, United States and Europe. So let us keep United States only. Indian region is not been active on this Heroku server, right? So we have to select the United States. So let's click on create app. So while we click on create app after giving name, it creates a blank setup for an application, right? And now what is the process is that we have to deploy our code here, right? Simply if we deploy our code and we run the server, our application would be live on HTTPS. Some few advantages of Heroku server are that it provides you free things, right? Few free things, right? Like SSL certificate is being by default given. You don't have to purchase it outside the server, and then you have to attach your SSL certificate to make it an HTTPS, a secured platform deployment. So it provides you an SSL certificate, and your application would by default be on HTTPS, right? So now our application's blank setup is being made. Now you can see that when we create the application, it directly goes on deploy option, right? Where it tells you that you have to deploy your code here. Now what options are being given to deploy our code is, one is the Heroku CLI method, right? Now CLI method is that you'll go to your code repository in the Explorer, and then you have to follow these steps. Your code would be deployed here, and your application would be running, right? We'll come back to this step later on, but first of all, what is the next step is that you have to connect with the GitHub, right? You can connect your Heroku server with the GitHub repository, and directly searching your project repo, you will find the project and you can directly connect it, right? The I would say this is a better approach for using the GitHub repository, because while you change anything on GitHub, it will automatically restart your server. That I'll tell you that what option is to be enabled to automatically restart your server whenever some change has been pushed on your GitHub repository. And if you don't know how to use GitHub, how to make a new repository, then definitely you should comment down on this video. I'll cover that also for you people, right? So let's start with the GitHub way of deploying your code. So right now what you can see, when we click on GitHub, it says connect. It will give you a connect option, right, where you have to input your email ID and password of your GitHub repository. Right now my GitHub repository is already been connected to this Heroku server. So let me simply search here. I'll search SIP calculator, right? And yes, it has found this repository, right, on GitHub, that okay, the code is already available with SIP calculator as a repository. So I'll click on connect, right? When I click on connect, it will give me few options, right? There I'll tell you, yes, you can see here that there is an option of enable automatic deploys. This option, if enabled, what will happen, that if you push any change to GitHub repository, any small change even to your GitHub repository, it will restart your server, and that change would be visible on your server running application, right? So if I click on enable automatic deploys, right, now for my application the automatic deploy is enabled. And before clicking on deploy branch, when we click on deploy branch, the code would be deployed and your application would be running, right? But before clicking on it, just check that okay, main branch should be selected here, right? Main branch should be there. So the main branch is there, so I'll click on deploy branch. So it will take few minutes to run the server and your application would be ready, right? So you can see the logs as well. So here the logs would be displayed that your application is running or not. So first of all, it will be taking all the data that has been required, downloading all the Maven dependencies that have been required for the application to run. So let's wait. So it is compressing now. It is launching. Okay. Right. It is launching. Okay, the app was successfully deployed, it says. So if I click on view, what will happen, it will take on the home URL, right? I have to go to our controller URL, right? So it says your application is deployed on this URL, right? You can see that there is HTTPS. By default HTTPS is being provided, so it is a secured, right? By default SSL certificate is being attached there, so you don't have to worry for that. So what I'll do is I'll say SIP calculator. That was my controller call, right? So yes, you can see that now SIP calculator screen has been visible on your screens. So I'll run this application for you. First I'll put it 20,000 and the rate is 10 and the year of investment is also 10. So let me click on calculate. So it will calculate my values here, right? So these are the values. So our application is running very successfully, right? So this was the first way of deploying your application using GitHub, right? So now if I want to, if okay, I'm not comfortable deploying my application through GitHub, but yeah, I have to deploy my application using Heroku CLI. So I'll not close this application, right? I'll go on my dashboard by clicking on Heroku, right? And I'll say new application. I'll create a new application, right? Create new app. So I'll give a name as Spring Boot SIP calculator. It will not take the name as already been taken by me. I think so. Oh, okay. There was a spelling mistake. So I'll say Spring Boot SIP calculator. So it says the name has already been used. So I'll say 2, right? Yes, the name is available, and we'll choose the region as United States only, and we'll click on create app. So now I have to deploy my code through Heroku CLI, right? So what we have to do is, first of all, you have to go to your code repository, right? I have already opened my code repository. My code is present at SIP return calculator. This is my code repository available on my local, right? My Explorer. So what we have to do is, you have to open CMD here. So you can directly go and type in CMD, and CMD would open here. Or you can go to your clicking on the window key, you can open CMD, and then by using CD command you can come to this directory, right? So here you have to first of all do a Heroku login, right? So what is the first step? Let's see. Let me minimize it, and we can then see the steps here as well. So what we have to do is, we have to do Heroku login. So I'll say Heroku login. Just simply you have to follow the steps that are being mentioned here, right? And it will work. So I have written Heroku login. So what it will say. Okay. So now it says press any key to open the browser or press Q to exit, right? Now what this is a CLI method. So what will happen is, whenever you will be clicking on any key, it will automatically open a browser, a default browser for your PC. So on your default browser there would be a page of logging into the Heroku, where you have to input your email ID and password, and then directly on this CMD window it will say that you have been logged in from this particular email ID, right? If I click on some key, I have pressed T, okay. So it will take time to open a default browser, right? So it is saying waiting for the login, right? Yes. So it has opened my default browser, right? So right now my default browser is this. So let me click on login, and I have to input my email ID and password, right? So let's wait. It's taking time. Okay, so my email ID and that's my password. So I click on login. When I click on login, it will directly say me that you have been logged in. You can close the browser and go to the CLI. If I close the browser, you can see that I am being logged in with this particular email ID, right? So now what, we are already in the directory, so we don't have to do the CD my project part. So we have to simply do git init, right? Git init. So what git init is, it is initializing a repository on Git for my code, right? So now the next step is, I have to do Heroku git remote space a Spring Boot. That you can see that Spring Boot SIP calculator is my repository code application name, right? So with the same name we have to deploy it. So I'll say calculator and -2, right? This is the command. Okay, if I say enter, so Yes, it has started to work. Yes, so it has connected the remote. Right now what we'll do is we'll say git add space dot. You can see this command here, right? Git add space dot. So you can scroll it down a little bit. Git add. Okay, now it has added. Now if I say git commit am and any message, right? It is written make it better, but you can simply write maybe my first commit, right? If I say my first commit, so it will push all my code there, right? Now all my code has been committed here. Whenever you will do it, you will see that how your code has been getting pushed, right? Same happens when you push your code through git also. So if I'm saying that if you haven't yet how to use git, then please do comment. I'll cover that also. And this sip code is already available, the video is already live, and the link would be in the description. So if you haven't watched that also, do watch it. It could give you an idea of a minor project, right? Some kind of custom calculators you can make for your minor projects. Right now the code has been pushed. Now what we have to simply run this last command, which will live our server, right? Heroku and master, right? Git push Heroku master. So yes, it has started to run now. So all those things that happened with the git logs as well will be displayed here as well. It will be downloading everything, and then it will be compressing it, and then it will start your application, right? So yes, build is success. Now it is compressing. The compressing done, now launching. Yes, the application has been launched. So you can simply go here and select this. You can mark, and then you can go here. You can simply go here and select this part, right? And you can go to your browser and type in this. I think there is a space here. No. Okay, so now I have to write SIP calculator, right? So my application would start run, right? Okay, I have written the wrong mapping here. I should have copied it from here. So this is the mapping. So yes, you can see our application is up now, and to show you that it is running fine, so let me say it to 20,000, and it is 10, and the year is also 10, right? So I can calculate and we'll see the results. So we can see the results as well. So our application is working fine on the servers, and you can see that it is running on HTTPS. That is the main thing, that right, it is giving you a free SSL certificate on its server. But now a little sad news about Heroku as well, that you might have noticed on the Heroku dashboard when we just landed on the Heroku dashboard, that it is written that from starting 28th November, the Heroku free server, free Heroku Dynos, free Postgres, free Redis, everything would be not available, right? Now free things would not be available from Heroku. You have to pay for everything. So that's a little sad news. But yes, I'll cover another video on Heroku, that how you should deploy your application, which includes database. So here you can use a free database of Heroku, that is Postgres database. So I'll make a video on that also, and that video will come before 28th of November, right, to cover those concepts, that how you can actually avail the free things, and you can practice it, how you can deploy your applications online, right? And then going forward, if your traffic is more, you can even purchase it, right? So this was it from this video, right? So if you people, I suppose that you people might have got some kind of knowledge on how to deploy your applications on Heroku server, and definitely some more videos for some more concepts, some more information videos would be also coming ahead. So please do like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and do subscribe the channel to motivate and to grow our community, so that the knowledge could be shared and a lot more motivation would be given to me, so that I can make some more videos on this concepts, right? And let's just enjoy coding. And thank you so much for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.